Mac talking with our buddy from NJ.com, Chris Franklin, who is coming to us from home, not the studio, not outside. He's got no squirrels. He's got no birds. He's comfortably ensconced inside.
Too cold, man. Too cold to be out with the birds these time of years.
Come on, Eagle fans sat in that rain yesterday for that entire
That's their
game.
problem.
Chris Franklin could go outside and let
if they want to do that, Godspeed. Yeah,
I think they had some help, with a little bit of alcohol warms them up. I don't want to drink too much on here.
Before and during the game, never happened.
Godspeed. But hey, we'll talk about weather. We haven't talked enough about Jake Elliott. What were you thinking, Chris? 59 yards in that weather. I did not think that football was going through. What were your thoughts?
I'll be honest, what's the name? There's another reporter that was asking a couple of us, right before the snap, where you think it happens, nah, this is a mess. It is, because it's just, you saw the wind, the way it was going, it was pushing in, and how wet it was, and where the spot was. There's no way you can make it, and that's what we get for doubting Jake Elliott again. That's every time you keep thinking, you know what, you can't do it. He just finds a way to get it done, and you look at you just look at his career now. And you look at the big spots that he's had, and you just gotta admire a guy and go, hey, you know what? This guy is he when all is said and done, and this is no disrespect to David Akers, when all is said and done, he'll probably be the best kicker in
he already is. All due respect to David Akers. And David Akers, by the way, is the person that Brandon Graham surpassed yesterday for the most games played in franchise history. So he was a tremendous kicker, but the best kicker in Eagles history is out there right now.
And I'll tell you, not Chris Boniel. I'll tell you what I said on the air and what I was thinking that I didn't say on the air, because I was on CBS at the time. And the host asked me, did I think Elliott was going to make it? And I said yes, because he had 60-yard range and he had already done it, game on the line, wouldn't bother him. Yeah, the elements made it more questionable, but I had just faith in him and he was going to make it. But in my mind, I was thinking, are we really going to have to call Kelsey on the carpet if he misses this? Because he took the 2 penalties that pushed him back 10 yards and made it a 59-yard kick. And he's Jason Kelsey. We can't call Jason Kelsey on the carpet for anything, can we? If he had missed, I think we would have had to, but it all went by the boards when Jake did what he did.
You would have to, he was on the field, and you have to call out that happened. And yeah, he almost did take them all out of field goal range completely. And had this been a couple years ago,
out of field goal range, he just happened to have a kicker who extended the field goal range. Even Jake after the game said, "Yeah, that was farther than we thought would be the range for the day," and he called that the toughest kick he's ever made. So, yeah, Jason should feel. And
let me give credit to my buddy Joe DeCamera. Because I saw he tweeted this during the game. He was really ticked off at whoever the CBS. Good thing Jeff Kerr's gone, so we can take a shot at CBS. I kind of work for CBS too. I'm on CBS Sports Radio, but I don't give a flying fart. They set the maximum range for Jake Elliott on that field goal at 49 yards. What are you talking about? 49 yards.
Well, I think that was weather related. Probably weather related.
Yeah, and it was funny because I thought,
how'd that work out, CBS? You adjusted it because of weather? Oh, he put a 59-yarder in your face. Take that. And the camera said that on Twitter. I said the same exact thing. They're not showing enough. We talk about respect too much here on Birds 365. They showed disrespect to Jake Elliott. Yes, they did, CBS.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny too. That's, of all people, probably one of the best insights he had all day. But Tony Romo, he even called it out as well too. They like you don't do that on air. You say maybe get the silent button and say okay that, but he called it out he continued. Elliott just continues to impress, and I don't know what's next. Are we going to start judging he should have made a 64-yarder that was well within his range? We're starting to get to that territory. It's crazy how he's playing.
Yeah, he has never missed a field goal inside of 2 minutes to either tie or win a game or overtime. Never missed.
Yeah, so I think T-Mac had that stat yesterday. I'd never seen it. 8 for 8, game-winning field goal, either last play of the game and or overtime. 8 for 8. That's why he is the best kicker in Eagles history.
Yeah, I still remember that time when he was playing for Memphis and he came into Temple late, and I should have known then. He was kicking for Memphis, kicked the game winner at the end. Temple was horrible at the time, but he saw it kicking the end. It's like, oh, this guy's pretty good. All right, little known, he already knew that, and he would be the guy he is. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And by the way, he was a fifth round pick of the Cincinnati Bengals, who kept Randy Bullock over Jake Elliott.
Ouch.
Put him on the practice squad though, so they had the safety net, and then I believe it was Caleb Sturgis who got hurt, and the Eagles signed him off the Bengals practice squad, and the rest is history, as they say. Yeah, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Chris Franklin, Jake Elliott, another example of that. But he was a big time kicker. Anytime you're drafted as a kicker, you're pretty good,
right?
Yeah. Alex Henry.
Fourth round pick. Alex Henry. Yeah. All right, bad. Not always. You're a good. How about I'll revamp my statement. You're a very good college kicker. How about that?
I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, there you go. It's so bad on that one, but yeah, like you got that. Even with the, I don't know what it is. You got to give them credit. I don't know what it is about that position. They usually can find the right guys. I mean, you look at Cameron Dicker. Even when Elliott went out, Cameron Dicker now is actually looking like a very good kicker.
Because Cameron Dicker was a better backup than Matt Amendola. Remember Matt Amendola?
Oh,
Arizona.
gosh.
Matt Prater was hurt, and they had to go with Matt Amendola, who Jody knows from his Jets days.
Jet days. Cardinal miss against the Eagles, and yesterday from 56.
Oh, he hit the crossbar.
He hit the crossbar because he can't make one from 50. Jake Elliott walks out in the pouring rain on a muddy field, and he nails one for 59. Matt Amendola, oh, sorry, hit the crossbar. Doink.
Didn't he use Wheaties? That game was just crazy. But yeah, they done well.
Wheaties can't help him. He's not a 50 kicker. All right, I need help from you guys because you were there. I was not just judging on TV. You can't see something like this. You got to be at the stadium too. How many plays did Quez Watkins, with his unbelievable speed, open it up for someone else yesterday for the Eagles in the snaps that he had? Because he wasn't actually targeted on any of it. Jalen didn't deign to throw him the football at all. But the threat that is Quez Watkins, how many lanes did he open up for his fellow wide receivers yesterday?
I thought there actually were a couple. The problem was they couldn't protect, especially early on. They couldn't protect anything, so they had he couldn't throw the ball at AJ.
I was surprised Quez played as much as he did, to be honest. It's interesting that they can't get the ball to Julio, and it's usually a bubble screen, and which goes nowhere. He played 47 snaps. Alameda played 18, had the big play, the extended play. By the way, what are people? That happened to Alabama, Auburn. What are people doing on these long third? They don't cover people in the end zone. When did that start, Chris Franklin? And Quez played 16 snaps, and they can't get, except for the Alameda play, which was that's a schoolyard play. That's not in the.
You don't think they drew it up just like that, John? Really?
No, I do
not.
It's like, hey, okay, just run around and we'll try to hit you in the back and I'll put the ball on you. Which, by the way, still remember all that talk about it, Hurts not being able to roll to his left and throw.
Yeah,
worked
on it. Worked on it. But to be fair, see, I think a lot of people they'll bring up, and you get this as well, Chris. We'll say something in the moment. Like if we said that in 2021, he couldn't go left. Tampa Bay won a playoff game because he couldn't go left.
Yep.
And then he's the kind of guy who just works and works and works and turns a weakness into a strength. And now he can. People evolve. And he has evolved, and he's doing a tremendous job. And that was a great throw. But boy, man, if I were Sean McDermott and I had hair, I'd be pulling it out.
I think he just grew some just to try to tear it out, which I don't know, it's bad. But yeah, I think it just goes to, I look at that that's probably one of the more defining moments of his career. I think he could go for all that stuff like Super Bowl. So I think that was, the fact that he was able in the middle of that comeback, it just encapsulated how far he's come as a quarterback and how much you've seen this offense. If there's struggles, especially like yesterday when they're down or that, what have you, they're able to scramble around. He's able to find a way, put the ball where it needs to be, and help continue with that comeback. So I look at it, I think that if anything, if they have that highlight reel where they show if he does wind up winning the MVP, I think that's going to be one of the first couple of clips or the highlight clip that they use to show like, hey, this is why this guy should earn that award.
All right, before I got on the MVP road with Jalen, I do want to ask you this because it might be something that actually happens today in the real world. I'm going to make you Howie Roseman for a day, Chris Franklin. And you get a call today from Shaq Leonard's agent. And he says, listen, Shaq wants to come play with you guys. He knows you got the best chance to go to Super Bowl. He's a ring chaser like everybody else. He's in the mercenary market that McMullen likes to refer to. He'll be a mercenary. He'll come play for you for $5 million for the rest of the season because he was scheduled to make $6 million. That's what, if the Eagles had claimed him, they would have owed $6 million on his salary. So he missed this past week. So I'll play for $5 million. And he says, yeah, oh, by the way, I got Jerry Jones on hold on the other line. He's already put $3 million on the table. So you guys need him more. He'd prefer to go to you, but you got to pay him exactly what he was supposed to make if he hadn't been released. So you got to give us $5 million. You're Howie Roseman. You believe him. What do you do?
I'm trying to find a way to do it. They get the cap space. They're like three or something like that. They're limited. But I'm going, if I find a way to get the money, yeah, I'm doing it. I think you do. Especially
you know how he's got a plan. He's already figured out who he's got to talk to, had conferences with their agent. We're going to add more money to your salary now to clear it up later. He's the best on the planet at that. So you know that's already been taken care of. But the number's bigger than you thought it was going to be. It's going to be $5 million for the last 6 games of the season. Otherwise, he's going to go sign with the Cowboys. If you're Howie Roseman, Howie, what are you doing?
I think you sign him. I think he got it, especially for twofold. One, I look at the Zach Cunningham. We don't know how the full extent of that injury he has. But you're now looking at Christian Ellis and Nicholas Morrow being your linebackers heading into maybe 1, maybe 2, who knows, 3, depending on how severe it is. You need another body in there, and I don't think Van Sumer is going to be elevated to the active roster. So I think that's 1. And 2, I look at the leadership, not just with his ability on the field. It's not the same Shaq Leonard we saw from 3 years ago, but it's still decent enough. I think you can get enough out of him, but you had a true bona fide leader with Nakobe Dean out at that second level. I mean, if you look at every level of defense, I mean, you tell me you have Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham on the line scrimmage. You got Shaq Leonard in the middle, and then you got Kevin Byard back there. In pressure situations, providing that leadership aspect of it too. Yeah, I do that. I think you almost have to. And I look at Shaq Leonard. I don't care if it's a linebacker. We know how his team doesn't value linebackers. Blah blah blah. I think at this moment now, especially with how teams are starting to attack them, and you need to stop these run games that are coming up because some good run games coming up on the schedule. I think you need them.
I'm going to be the only one who has any fiscal responsibility. My God, guys, $5 million for 6 games, Shaq Leonard. I mean, maybe if it's prorated, but that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, no, John, you know he was due $6 million, not prorated. $6 million if he had been claimed off waivers.
Yeah, so he's not. That's why nobody claimed him. Because nobody's paying him that.
But that was before your starting linebacker went down with an injury.
No. Well, I don't think he's the same player. Do I think the Eagles could use him? Yeah. But I mean, they're not good. But first of all, Jerry won't do it either. He's not insane. So I mean, it'll be prorated.
Neither one of them are pushing their chips into the middle of the table. Is what you're telling me?
Not at that level.
Okay.
I mean, if you tell me if you're desperate and say $5 million prorated per 6 games, I'm not going to complain. But 5 actual million, no, not a million.
That's what he was scheduled to make, John.
Yeah, but he's not. That's the whole point. He had a massive contract, and that's the whole point why he cleared waivers, because nobody in their right mind is playing Shaq Leonard what he was due on his contract. Now, if he wants to ring chase and he wants to make $3 million prorated or $4 million, I'd even say that if you're desperate, prorated, yeah, all right, take a shot. And Howie's too smart. Yeah, I mean, he's too smart.
And I think the one that carrot you really need to dangle with him is the playing time aspect. Yeah, you really need to.
Yeah, and he gets a chance to play and win. And if he plays well, who knows? He might get another contract somewhere else down the road. But it's going to be interesting because of the Eagles-Cowboy dynamic, and especially if that game becomes more important. Now, that game probably only becomes more important if San Francisco beats the Eagles. But Dallas has won, what, Jody? 13 straight at home?
I think 13 in a row at home.
13. They're pretty tough to play down there. And if that to me is the most interesting part. If it comes down to Eagles versus Cowboys and that game is meaningful, and all of a sudden Shaq Leonard makes a play with a star on his helmet, and then it could look bad.
That's why I'm saying, if I would not mind being Shaq Leonard's agent today. I think he's got some leverage. I think he can play this game pretty well and not have to worry about prorated. Oh no, here's the number. This is what we need for the final 6 games of the season. I do believe that. All right, Chris, let me get this in before we wrap you up here. I said this yesterday on WIP. I thought Eagle fans yesterday at the opportune time during the game, and oh, by the way, several presented themselves, either a Jalen Hurts long touchdown pass, hello, Lamade, or a Jalen Hurts push touchdown. Yeah, that happened in the first half. One of the only things that happened in the first half. And or a Jalen Hurts lengthy run. You could have done it at the end of the game as he's leaving the field and everybody's celebrating. That they should have started an MVP chant. That he is the MVP of the league. He was prior to the game. He only increased his status with the way he played, 5 touchdowns after the game. You don't usually hear MVP chants at football games. You do at basketball games. You do at baseball games. It doesn't really happen much at football games. Eagle fans, Eagle Nation could be cutting edge by being ahead of the curve and starting an MVP chant for Jalen Hurts. Should they have yesterday? Will they against the 49ers this week?
That section, there's a section from where I was sitting in the press box. They were chanting it. They were yelling the MVP. There was a section from yeah. There's a few people that were yelling it. Yeah, so I think it's the bandwagon starting, and as this team if they continue to win, yeah, it's only gonna come out there. You mean tell me the guy who led the guy who was the runner-up last year, if they say this team finishes 14-3, 13-4, whatever variation of that, and they continue to go on this trajectory, yeah, I mean, who's the one?
Chris, can I ask you, were those same people telling the Eagles to fire the offensive coordinator and bench the quarterback when he had an 0.0 passer rating to Blutarski in the second quarter?
And also, I don't know if you heard this too. We're gonna run the bleeping ball. That's when we heard that. That was prevalent too. That was around the same area too, by the way. When they were saying
run the bleeping ball. By the way, breaking news: our old friend Frank Reich fired in Carolina.
Really?
Yeah. There was a poor David Tepper came out of the locker room yesterday cursing. So there you have it. But
wow.
Not even one and done, less than one and done.
So let me ask both you guys, because you know Frank Reich covered him when he was here. Do you think that he told the owner bleep off because he picked the quarterback in the draft? That I've had a couple of good NFL insiders tell me, oh, that was David Tepper's pick. That Frank Reich wanted to
Frank
take
liked CJ Stroud for
right. But so after they lost again yesterday, the owner comes into the locker room, said something to Frank, and Frank says, bleep you, I wanted the other quarterback. That cost him his job. Do you believe that happened yesterday?
Frank's from what I've heard and everything else, Frank might be too nice to do that.
Yeah, he
might be way too nice to be able to do that.
He literally does not curse. So that part, he might have said, Mr. Tepper, please leave my presence. But he's not the yeah, he does. He legitimately does not curse. Unlike Shane Steichen.
Oh my God. Shane, every other word was, it's like, remember, this is an obscure reference, but anybody who's watched South Park, the first episode, they said the S word over and over again. They had a little counter. They could have had a counter on Shane.
Shane is like an automatic weapon when it comes to F-bombs, and there's like 10 and boom, 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 bang.
I will say this, and this is no, as I don't know, I'm just learning with you too. I wonder if Nick brings Frank in as like an advisor, or has him as advisor for there now. That's his boy.
That's his boy. They get to the playoffs, of course. They bring in defensive guys to advise the offense. Why not would you not bring an offensive guy in to advise the offense?
He's already like he's already a de facto advisor. So yeah, I mean, either way, he's going to be calling him. And by the way, now Nick will hate the Carolina Panthers. He was very yeah. That is Frank is his guy, man. So unfortunate for Frank Reich, but it's always that's a bad situation anyway.
Let him out finish out the season.
What does it do now? Evidently, the special teams coordinator is getting elevated. Chris Tabor, I believe, and Jim Caldwell moves to special advisor working with the offense. So Jim Caldwell will fix all the ills, I guess.
Yeah, good luck with that. And I guarantee you it had to be a personal thing. Because you're right. You just got there. You can fire him after 11 games. Why the hell would you do that? I know you're 1-11, but you're playing a rookie quarterback. Yeah, that had to be a personal thing between the owner and the coach. I can pretty much guarantee you that. All right, I'm going to make a bold prediction. Are you ready for this, Chris Franklin? I need you to agree or disagree with me.
All right.
Walk through Wednesday.
Oh, that's agree. That's agree.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Those guys are banged up.
Oh my God! They just played 90 freaking 2 defensive snaps. Yeah, they're not. Wednesday is the most guaranteed walkthrough and guaranteed.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Walkthrough Wednesday. I'm predicting a walkthrough Wednesday. Not practice.
Oh yeah.
That between you played on a short week. You played the overtime game after playing on a short week. I was speaking to one player. One player is like, I don't know if I want to practice this week just to make sure I'm ready for the game. So
apparently, neither one of you guys picked up on my cynicism. You thought I was actually being serious that they were going to practice.
All right.
They walk through Wednesday every week. They had to walk through Wednesday after a bye week.
No, they didn't. They practiced after the bye week. They practiced
on Wednesday.
Yes. Moving through, it'll be walkthroughs the rest of the way, I think. But yeah, definitely tomorrow. No question about it. Not tomorrow.
With a lot of ice ready. A lot of ice and a lot of trainers standing by ready for it too.
And this week it should be. This week it makes perfect sense. But other weeks maybe not. But
injuries and overtime. Oh yeah, they'll be walking through on Wednesday. See, Franklin, thank you very much for hopping on with us, brother. You know we always appreciate it when you're going outside and weathering the storm. Tell the birds we said hello. Okay.
I will. I'll make sure to do it.
Franklin News, by the way. Make sure you follow Chris on xnj.com and everywhere else. Lehigh Valley Live. So many. I can't get through them all, Chris.
I can't have the time either.
He confirmed the MVP chant for me yesterday at the stadium. Thank you very much for that, Chris Franklin.
No problem. No problem. Anytime. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Next week. Chris Franklin here with us on Birds 365. All right. I had not had it confirmed, but he's the first guy I talked to other than you. Did you not hear this MVP?
No, I did not hear. I did not.
And you were in the same press box he was.
I'm focused, Jody. I'm focused on the task at hand.
You're saying you may have missed it, is what you're saying.
I can't worry about that. They're so schizophrenic. It's MVP 1 minute, fire Brian Johnson the next.
I'm glad to hear at least one person, because Al asked me yesterday, he goes, do you think they'll actually do it down at the stadium? And I said, at least one person will call me tomorrow night on WIP. I'm on WIP tonight after Monday Night Football and say they heard the cheer. Would I be able to? I'll judge on TV. That's the best I could do.
By the way, we're ensconced. Sometimes it's difficult to hear what they're chanting.
Right.
Yeah.
I might have a better chance of hearing it on the crowd mic on TV than you guys
Yeah.
do. But that means if Franklin heard it ensconced in the press box, that it had to be loud enough that if he actually picked up on it, I'm going to take that as a confirmation. All right, he's McMullen. I'm McDonald. We got to come back, put a bow on this show here on Birds 365.